Hello, hello. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Sophia Lucia Parola with Garden State Film Festival. This year, from March 21st through March 24th, it will be the 22nd annual Garden State Film Festival. We are back in Garden State. Yes, in Garden State, but in Asbury Park, New Jersey, where it all began. And also Cranford, New Jersey. We'll be having over 200 films screening across these 8 venues, all different types of films, genres, lots of good stuff. It's a wonderful lineup this year, guys. It's such a pleasure to watch these films. One of the films I had the pleasure of watching and now interviewing the filmmaker is this documentary called The Film Make Her. Here with me to talk about this film is writer, director, producer David Serero.
Hello, my dear. How are
I
you?
am wonderful, David. How are you?
Sophia, it is such an honor to see you, to be with you, to talk to you. And it's like, you brought the sun in the room now all of a
No,
sudden.
you
So,
brought the poetry and the music and the wine and the
yeah,
chocolate. Your
I like
energy
when you
is
talk
just
about me, you start to move the hands. You
yes,
like,
because your energy
oh,
is
let me
so
say
beautiful.
hello. And
David, it is, I can tell it's going to be a wonderful conversation, but we don't have
we
all
have
the
how
time,
many
so I want to
hours
get
we
right
have?
into
You
it.
know, how many hours we have?
Okay, so we only got I think we got like no, we got 15 minutes,
Well,
but
listen, it's
it's
gonna be
okay.
hard.
We could go a little over.
No,
Usually I've
no,
been going
I
over.
tell you why, because I'm Jewish. Just when I say hello, it can last 2 hours. You know what I
I
mean?
see that. I
You
see
know,
that.
I have to
Um,
offer you food. I have to talk. How are you? How is your family?
I can tell
How
it's
is
2 minutes
everything?
and we haven't.
How is your love life? Are you seeing anybody? I need to know
Oh,
all of that.
don't
What's
ask me
going on
any of
with
these
that plant
questions.
that you have? With the plant? What is that plant you have? Tell me
That's
the
a spider
story.
plant. That's a
First of all,
eucalyptus plant.
no, the one over there,
Yeah, that's a
no,
spider plant.
Spider Plan.
Yeah, it's American probably, right? They don't
Listen,
have it
I
in
heard
Paris.
Spider Man. I heard about that, but Spider Plant.
This
This
is
is
better
something
than
new for me.
Spider-Man. This is real. No.
Okay,
Okay,
what's the
David.
purpose of that plant? I want to know the purpose of that plant.
But you know what I want to know? I'll tell you about this plant
Tell
later,
me,
another
man.
time. Because are you okay? Let's get back to business, David.
Absolutely, my dear.
You're a
Absolutely.
pleasure. You're so wonderful. But
I
tell
know.
us,
Thank you.
please tell us who. I'm afraid to ask who you are. Short,
No.
briefly tell us who you are before we talk about the film. I
Well,
want to know a little
I
bit about
was
you.
born. It was a Wednesday. It was 6:20 p.m. And no, no, it's well, very simply. I was born and raised in Paris. I'm originally an opera singer and an actor, and I started after to put my shows together. I was pretty much very entrepreneurial in the culture, I would say, aspect, and I started to direct and produce mostly theater, musicals, opera, then film festivals, music festivals. And then COVID happened, and I knew I was going to movies. I knew this was the next, for me, the next gig for me would be to go to movies. So just COVID brought it perfectly for me. And I did that first movie about fashion designer Eli Tahari,
Mhm,
which last year
mhm.
was selected in your festival. So thank you so much. And I got to meet this wonderful the founder of the film festival, who is such an extraordinary lady, and
Mhm.
really I really admire her so much.
Diane
And
Raver.
I'm sorry.
Diane Raver. I'm
No, no,
just also
of course,
admiring her.
Diane,
Wonderful
and
person.
Diane's such an I know what it takes to put together a film festival. I know what it takes to put together an enterprise, and we tend to forget these days. I feel to give credit to the people who
Mhm.
originated all of it, who carry on their shoulders such an entrepreneurship. So um, I really must pay her tribute, and I
Wow.
went there with Eli Tahari himself, and we did a Q&A, we did a screening, we had young students from fashion schools around who came to attend, so it was wonderful. So and then from that documentary became so successful that now I have, I think, more than 10 documentaries, and
Wow.
it's working so well. But each movie brings me to make the next movie better,
Mhm.
actually. So I kind of benefit from one movie to the other, so it's good, it's a good thing for me.
Wow. Oh
since
my
I do
God.
the editing myself also. So it's very, I would say, beneficial.
Wow, I know that's just like the tip of the iceberg of everything you do and all about, but amazing, amazing bio, and no
Thank
wonder you're
you.
an opera singer and actor because your energy and your
Yes.
charisma. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to ask you to sing for me because we got to talk about the film Make Her, okay? This is such a beautiful documentary, and I
Thank
know
you.
that it obviously is very close to you because, yeah, tell us about the film Make Her. What is this documentary about?
Absolutely. Well, it's about a wonderful woman. Her name is Lisa Azuelos, who is really number one filmmaker of France. The girl who did Barbie, Greta.
Hmm.
She's the kind of Greta of France, and she did a lot of very successful films in France. As a matter of fact, she's the most successful female filmmaker of France, and she did in America. She's famous for the movie LOL with
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus and Demi Moore. And she originally did a French version of it and then adapted it in the US. And she kind of brought also her own culture, which is the Jewish Sephardic culture, which I'm very close to from Morocco because my family is from Morocco. And she brought her own slang and her own culture in the movie, and she made the movie very authentic and the same way, you watch a movie by Woody Allen, you recognize
Mhm.
the style of Woody Allen, of all these great filmmakers, and she has that. And I felt that she is a genius and she needed to tell her story, because her story also tells her movies, even though you don't need to know
Mhm.
her story to appreciate her movies, of course. But I felt she really especially in France, the comedies, you have the very intellectual movies, and the comedy are regarded, like this. But it's actually the comedies that make the money, that make the whole industry successful. So, and we became friends, and she became my mentor. And in 2019, we co-directed together a musical that we both wrote off Broadway about disco music. So, which actually we talk in the movie, and that way we became friends. And when I did my first movie about Elita Hari, I told her, look, I would love to do my second about you. And I said, I don't know who to ask. And the movie of Tahari was not even finished 100%. So I just showed her a couple of stuff, and she said no, let's do it. So it went perfectly.
Wow. She said yes right away because I know she's so behind the camera. She was like, "Yeah, tell my
Yeah, I
story."
mean, she wanted to be sure, because she said, "Look, I'm a filmmaker." I mean, I was the most scared, trust me, because I was like, "You doing?" First of all, so for me, it was to make a movie about a filmmaker. So
Mm,
it's really another exercise. And I wanted to have the same rhythm than her, the same colors than
mm,
her, the same laughs that she uses at the end of a phrase.
mm.
So that was what I wanted to do. But no, she actually helped me a lot, because when I showed her the first cut of the movie, she said, "That's good, but you're missing a lot of that, a lot of that, a lot of that." So I started to work more on that. And then she said, "That's good, but now go more that way, go more that way." So she was really helpful. And honestly, if you don't learn from the person you're making the movie about, then how the audience can learn about it in an hour where you spend a year. So I
Mhm.
definitely learned a lot about her, and she gave me a lot of advices, and it benefits all the other movies I'm doing now, for sure.
Right, I can imagine. What an experience.
And in the movie also, I was able to interview all the biggest stars of French movies. And it was, for me, like some like idols of mine. So it was really, I mean, it was a wonderful experience to
Oh
do
my
that
god.
movie, and I can't wait that it was also important, because she's a French native speaker, that she says it, her story, in English, because she's so famous in France that I'm not going to say it was useless to do it just for France, but I thought it was important for the international crowd, for the American crowd, because she always dreamed of America, of being popular in America, or and actually she did a movie with Sophie Marceau called I Love America. So that's
I saw
those
that.
you
I
know.
mean, I was so amazed. I learned so much about this amazing woman. I was so inspired by her, and
Thank
I
you.
didn't until you said LOL. I was like, oh my gosh, she made L. I didn't even know about her. So thank you for bringing this knowledge of this wonderful woman to America and to Garden State Film Festival, because I know it's going to inspire a lot of artists and filmmakers and just people in general and women. So it's
Yeah,
amazing. Amazing. I want to ask you, how long did it take to make, and what was like the hardest part of this experience and the best part of this
yeah.
experience?
Well, the best part is to be with you. Is to talk with you today. That's the best
You're
part
right.
of the
You're right.
whole filmmaking experience. No, it was first you mentioned something about women. She really also, one of her signature was really to bring, I will say, the women's stories in the center of her stories, because back in those days, like 20, 25 years ago, it was movies about war, about men, about men leading stories. But she was the first one to do it in France, to bring female at the center of her movies. But the most difficult, I thought, was to really treat every movies and to bring a story behind the story, to bring a
Right.
story why that movie was created, but also almost like, if you don't know about movies, if you don't know the process of filmmaking, that you learn about it. So there was the masterclass aspect of the movie that I really liked, the masterclass chapter. And I like the idea of a chapter in that particular movie. I didn't do that for the next one, but that one I really felt like it was important to do it. But yeah, the most difficult is how to bring her career into basically an hour and
Yeah.
to explain all of her genius. But she did it pretty well, and also so the audience leaves with something, because she always dreamed to bring people's lives, into the screen. And at the end, her favorite, I think, the most beautiful movie is her own life, because
Mhm.
she really struggled, and it was in her hard time. And I really believe she deserves every bit of success that she has today. And she gives opportunities to a lot of people. Like, she doesn't go necessarily with the regular casting type. She gives
Mhm.
chances to people who are not even actors. And she gave me to do a movie. I'm not even a director, filmmaker originally. But,
Oh,
but 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 that's why I choose also the title, "The Film Make Her,"
yeah.
because that's really the whole story about it.
I mean, you're so successful. You've done so many films. Like you mentioned, the documentary that we had, fortunately, last year has won over, it's been in over 100 festivals. It's won like a dozen awards. What do you love about filmmaking and documentaries specifically?
That's a very sweet question. I would say I like to tell a story very differently than when I do it on stage, because I still direct and produce off Broadway in New York.
Mm,
And I would say the fact that I started to make movies made me a better even stage director. And the fact that I'm used to the stage, to the rhythm, to the music, made me, I think, a different filmmaker, a different film director. I
mm,
will say, first, it brings me a fresh blood, because I've been performing for more than 25 years. I've known all my life I've been on stage. So the fact to be at home all day in front of the computers and spend sometimes 16 hours editing the movie, because I'd edit it myself, working with the camera, building something. And it's all these, like this ponteism, in
mhm.
the painting, is all this little point there and there. And then something gets created. And
Yeah.
it's like when you're doing a building, it's all these little stones that at the end make something. And what I like also in a movie is that it stays, and it
Mhm.
travels. While a show, once it's done, it was
Yeah.
like, thank you everybody, nice to meet you, and you move on to the next, and there's nothing left from it. So I like the movie that it can travel, the fact that people in New Jersey can read the
Mhm.
story even of her dad, who is from Morocco. I think this is amazing.
Mhm.
And that's really what I like. And also the people of the industry, the film
Yeah.
festivals. That's the reason why I do movies, not for the platforms. It's really for the film festivals, because you get to meet so many people and interact and go to talk about your movies. And I learn so much because you get feedback. You have to be willing to get the feedback and to search for them. But I always go and say, what did you like the most? What you didn't like? What would you change? What would you remove? But because
Yeah.
I'm doing the editing, when I go home right away, boom, 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 I cut whatever needs. For example, at Garden Film Festival, I remember people laughed a lot at a moment, and during that moment there was an important information, so it got covered by the laughs.
Uh-huh.
So I remember the next day I pushed a little bit that important information and lasted more time, so the laughs could could
Yeah.
diminish like this.
You only
So
see that stuff sitting with that audience watching the film. Yeah.
that's what I love,
Yeah.
and they have great food also at the Garden State Film Fest. There
Oh,
was a
yeah,
great
Asbury
party.
Park,
Oh
music,
man, I
food,
went
we
there.
got it
I didn't
all.
want to leave. Yeah, and I brought Eli Tahari to party. You
How
know,
come I didn't see how come I didn't party with you guys
No,
last
but
year? I'm a little
you know what I
upset.
did to him? The mistake we did is that there was the movie theater, and right in front there was a hotel, if I remember,
Yeah.
with the rooms for the party. So we went there, and there was JP Morgan Asia Corporate, and
Uh,
I thought, let's go there, So we opened the door, and we see all the people from JP Morgan. Say, ladies and gentlemen, this is Ali Tahari, and I said, let's do business. Let's give business cards. And after we
yeah.
went to party, we had the best time ever.
Oh my
But
gosh. Yeah, I'm upset I didn't
the
hang with you
best
guys.
parties, really. Garden State Film Festival, the best party, man. And it's up parties in the afternoon. I like that.
Oh, we got
I
parties
love it.
all hours of the day. We have our first screening is like the earliest one I think is 9 a.m. So you're
9 a.m.
that's our earliest screening block. I'm
You're
pretty
not
sure.
gonna see me there. I tell
Yeah.
you that.
We're definitely over
No,
time,
no,
but I
I'm
want to
kidding.
ask
I'm
you two
kidding.
quick questions, David, because
Of
I love
course, my
every
dear.
answer you have. It's like I said, it's like music hearing you talk, and it's bringing
Oh,
it moves me honestly.
thank
Um,
you,
yeah,
dear.
yeah, the opera singing that makes
With
sense.
the
So
spider plant.
it's a spider plant. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
getting
don't
energy from
sell
it.
it, huh?
So, yes, I'm sorry, Lisa, because she's the one doing tech. She's amazing. She knows I'm going over. But David, I want to ask you two more questions, even though we're over
Of course,
time. So
Lisa,
keep
I'm
that in mind,
sorry.
okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, no, please don't apologize. I love talking to you.
Uh-huh.
I know you learned so much in your career, but I know that making the film Make Her, you've learned so much more. You've learned so much just filming your mentor and then editing it with her by your side and helping you. And what would you say is the biggest takeaway that you learned from making this documentary?
Oh, well, I will say that she said something very important. She said, "Don't be afraid to be poor, and don't be afraid to be rich." you know
Mm,
because she said that she started to make movies with just the small cameras,
mhm,
and with the just one light, with just a thing. And she was not afraid of making a movie that way. And then
mhm,
after, when she did the movie Dalida, which was, I don't know how many hundreds of costumes, hundreds of extras. It was a very rich, very big movie. She was not afraid of that either. So
uh-huh,
I learned that from her, because many times once you start to have success, you're like, oh, let me hold it a little bit,
yeah,
because you're afraid, to go too big, to go too strong. And I would say I learned that. And also, she said something in the masterclass part, which was really good. She said, but that's her signature. She said, I want actors to look like people on the screen, not like actors.
mhm,
And I don't want people to say, "Oh, look, we love the movement of the camera." No, I want people to look like people.
mhm,
And I thought that was really, really, really interesting. And also the fact that she shared her difficulties in the movie. That she said, "Oh my God, this moment to film was a nightmare. It's
mhm,
difficult." She shared a lot also about the casting process, and also even for her, to find the right actress sometimes is not easy.
mhm.
And no, I mean, I, really, it's a learning experience. And she said also something when we did a Q&A, because it was a screen in movie theater in New York. She said the difference between herself and some other of her colleagues is that she never gave up. She always came back with a new movie, always, always, always. And I do the same. I always come back with, I'm not going to say I force myself, but I really bring 3, 4, 5 productions a year, even if sometimes I would be fine with just one, because I don't want people to say, "Oh no, he's gone. That's it. He did this. That's the end of his career. We don't hear about him anymore." So you always go on and take more and
Mhm.
more project to stay alive.
Yeah.
Towards the eyes of people, but also for yourself. So I think that's what one of the many, many, many things that she taught me throughout the
So
years. It's a
amazing.
lesson of life.
So amazing. There's so many inspiring quotes, and even just from this interview, but from this film. And I'm so happy for Garden State Film Festival to watch this. Quickly, I want to ask you, David, why do you keep coming back to Garden State Film Festival, and why is it so important for this festival to exist?
Well, for the food, I go there. I come for the food only. That's the only thing that matters for me. The oysters. You know what I mean? It's
You're
like
right, right by the
oysters
beach.
and mojito. They had mojito. I remember over there. Mojito, mojito.
It's a
I
wonderful
said to the guy,
pairing.
"Do you have mojito?" He said, "Oh, mojito." I said, "Yes, mojito." No, no, it was no, no, but well, it's like a family,
Yeah.
and this film festival is growing, and really the personality of Diane reflects throughout these whole film festivals, in really the window that you're giving to filmmakers. Because my movies, they go to film festivals, even on the website I don't find it myself, on their website. But um, you guys really help also the filmmakers. Like, doing this interview also is really helpful, so thank you again so much for the opportunity. But also, you talk before the movie, you do a little book, you see posters all around, a great promotion tool. So it's like having a great PR working for you,
Hmm.
but as I said, it's like a family, and the enthusiasm of everyone, and plus everybody told me that I have an accent from New Jersey, so I thought, I will
Right.
connect to it.
I couldn't believe you're from Paris. I
No,
really
but
could.
you know
All
what?
I
You know what?
hear is
It's
like Christopher
it's the
Walken.
strong. It's the biggest film festival of New Jersey. Like, it's
And
it's
it's the
it's
first
strong.
indie premiere festival in New Jersey. Yeah,
Wow.
and definitely the biggest in New Jersey. David, I gotta cut us off, but I hope I talk. You're gonna be at Garden State Film Festival this year, right?
Yeah.
We
It's
knew
the
there'll
end
be
of the
tears at the end of this
interview.
interview. We knew it.
It's
We
the
have
end
to
of the
talk more at the
interview.
festival. I didn't listen. I think I asked you 3 questions. I had so
No,
many
but
more
I,
questions.
I'm
So
gonna I'm gonna cry. Like the girls at the Oscars. They go, "Thank you. I just want to say,
where's the
I want to
handkerchief?
thank."
Yes.
And open
Don't
the
mess up
mouth
your
always,
makeup.
right? But you know, no,
You're
no.
right.
But
The mouth has to be
it's
open when you do it.
honestly, I hope I'm gonna win an award this year.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I have no pull on that. That's on
Last
Diane
year
and
I
the
won an
people who
award
run it.
for at Garden Film Festival. Last year I won an award for best Jewish filmmaker in his price range. Which was a great award. I was happy to get.
I'm so happy they brought that award back. Oh,
I know. I hope I'm gonna get
after the
something
first
this
year,
year.
there was a lot of complaints and they took it
No,
down.
no, but honestly, being part of these three festivals
Oh my
is the
gosh.
greatest award I could ever dream. So thank you, really, and please, everybody, go to attend to this great film festival. Go to support it, and also, donate is tax deductible from what I heard. So
This is
please
true.
donate. I donated my ex mother-in-law. As a I heard it's tax deductible. I said, please take her. Let's. I'm
Oh,
in
we'll
this
take it all. We'll
Airbnb
take
now.
anything.
But anyway, but no, it's
Wow.
really great. Best film festival ever. So
David, I
thank you,
couldn't I
really.
couldn't do a better closing, but I can tell people how to see the filmmaker and hopefully meet this charismatic, hilarious, amazing artist in person. Yes, yes. Look at that smolder, everyone. Meet David Serero. There's no rolling the R's.
Serero. You
Serero,
said
and
it like
watch
I'm
the
torero,
filmmaker. Let me tell you how you can see it. It will
like I
be
work at
screening.
Chipotle, Serero with guacamole. No,
Yes,
Serero.
exactly.
Serero. It's okay right there. He
The,
can
his film.
whistle. My ex-wife, she used to whistle. She used to call me like this, my ex-wife,
Oh,
Yeah. So
oh, okay.
so good to so yeah, Serero is
So
fine.
now
So
that's how you're called. Okay, and now
yeah,
I know how to get your
yeah.
attention at Garza Film Festival.
He used to
Guys,
whistle.
come watch The Filmmaker. It will be screening Sunday, March 24th. The film block starts at 12 p.m. at Jersey Shore Art Center. And like David said, we got great food. We got parties. There is a filmmaker, Meet the Filmmakers night on Thursday. There is Q&As after each screening. There are
I give free
celebrities,
massage
red
of back
carpet.
of the foot
I'm sure
also.
there's massages somewhere. Asbury
I
Park
do
has
it for the
everything.
people. I
Right.
take
Well, let's
tips.
not go around asking for massages, but
Yeah.
but but guys, yes, definitely come see this beautiful documentary. Obviously, it is so inspiring. You'll walk away with so many big takeaways. David, thank you for this
Sophia, I love you. Thank you so much.
unforgettable interview.
Honestly,
Unforgettable
thank you for the
interview.
opportunity. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your benevolence. Thank you, Liza, who is also working, backstage. So thank you to all of you,
Can you
and
say
thank you,
names?
Diane. Please, Diane. God bless you, my dear. Thank you for having me. Thank you for all the team, and thank you, Sophia, for your smile. And for
Ugh,
that plant. Thank you so much.
get yourself a spider plant, David.
Yeah,
All right,
spider
it's
plant.
really
It's
good for
scary.
you and the energy, and it's
Scary.
healing. It's good, but you
Oh
don't need
yeah.
any more energy. You're great.
Okay.
David, thank
I
you
I
again.
took a
It has been
cappuccino for energy, not a spider plant, but that's okay. That's
it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure talking to
God
you.
bless
Thank you
you,
for
my dear.
bringing us the
Anytime.
filmmaker, and I can't wait to see more of your work. I hope you keep submitting to Garden State Film Festival.
All the time. Every movie goes premiere in New Jersey of all my movies for life. It
Thank you.
goes to Garden State Film Festival. Yeah, my word.
Thank you. We are honored.
Anytime. Bye-bye.
Have a wonderful night or evening. I don't know what it is in
Night, it's
Paris.
midnight now.
Have a wonderful night.
Yeah.
Thank you again, and congratulations.
Congratulations to you. Thank you, dear.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.